This is Crazy Headaches.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian with the Crazy Headaches podcast. I am joined today by Miss Lisa.
Hello.
And Mr. Michael.
Hello, hello.
These will be my two co-hosts. We will all be hosting this together. This is something we decided to put together to, give a little bit of advice with whatever it is in your life that you got to deal with, the crazy headaches that might come up. So today we're really just kind of introducing ourselves to everybody. Everybody knows our background, knows where we came from, and maybe they can make the decision if they want to heed our advice or not. So I'm gonna start with Lisa. Tell us a little bit about yourself and why you're the person you are today.
How long do we have?
Listen, I have not put any time restraints on this at all. We could, however long you want to go.
So right now I'm the owner of Got You Covered Roofing, Brevard's Best Gutters, and Florida Dumpster Pandas. I have done a multitude of things in my life, and I have been in many different places. So I can probably, if you have a problem, I've probably already been there, done that, and I could probably help you with it. But right now, we're just navigating business life, and I currently have a grandbaby that will be 2 years in May, and I just absolutely adore him. He is the light of my life. He's the one that makes me smile every day, even when there are problems going on. My husband, Paul, is also a partner in the business. He is not here today, but he'll probably peep in every now and then.
Every now and then. Paul's really not the put me on social media kind of person, but we'll get him every now and then.
Yeah, but I'm a Christian woman who just wants to help people and live in God's purpose and do the best I can based on what He wants for me, and that's about it. I mean, again, I've been there, done that, and we can go into that later on. But for now, it's just a
quick little snippet
of who I am. I'm just me, just Lisa. Boss lady, as some of you guys call me.
That's right, boss lady. And like she said, she is the owner of Got You Covered Roofing, Brevard's Best Gutters, Florida Dumpster Pandas, and that means she is also my boss and Michael over here's boss. And I think sometimes she questions her decision on why she would have brought me on, but here we are enjoying it and making the best of it. So next, yeah, how could you not?
I don't know.
Next up, Michael. Tell us a little about yourself, kind of your past a little bit, what you got you to where you are today, and with us here on the Crazy Headaches podcast.
Man, again, my name is Michael. I'm from the New York, Connecticut area, and I grew up just kind of winging things, making dumb decisions like most of us do, and I'm all about shifts right now, all about getting through things in life that life throws at you. And I'm very thankful that you guys decided to start this podcast, because I cannot wait to see the stories about listeners and how it has helped them. And I know this is going to be an amazing thing. But yeah, I grew up mainly in New Haven, Connecticut. 203, yeah, I know Christian's an 860er,
right,
so
860,
he's
surrounded by Yankees.
So he had to go for. We don't have a team in Connecticut, so we got to kind of pick and choose from other states. So
Southern as there can be. You got two Connecticut Yankee people over here.
I'm New York Yankees all the way. I'm sure Christian is a Boston Red Sox fan because he's 860, and. Yeah, I mean, I made a lot of dumb decisions. Some of the headaches in my life I caused. Some were just what life threw at me, and I'm grateful to be here with the crew we have now, and Got You Covered Roofing, and Brevard Best Gutters, and Florida Dumpster Pandas. Lisa is an amazing person to work under, and I'm just glad that God kind of aligned our paths. And it's been an amazing journey, and I can't wait for more to come.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little distracted. I mean, definitely got good luck. I had a ladybug land on my screen here. Oh, and there it goes.
Yeah,
So-
this is what I have working for me, staff that play with bugs
Yeah.
while we're working.
Sorry, I mean, still ladybugs. I mean, from what I hear, that's good luck.
It is good luck. I have heard that. It is good luck. So,
But yeah, me, yeah, I come from a background of kind of in the city a little bit, in the backwoods. I mean, my family, you name it. I mean, I have some of my family that were police officers, chiefs of police. I mean, all the way to the crazy uncle that does roofing. I mean, pretty much all of it. So, I mean, I kind of got a taste of a little bit of everything growing up in life. And my grandfather being a carpenter and building things. And so, really, I was one of those people growing up. We never really hired a company to do anything at our house or anything. It was always, we had to learn it for ourselves because we didn't grow up with a bunch of money. I mean, like same with you, Lisa, like and Michael. Like we didn't grow up with a bunch of money, so a lot of the stuff that we had to do around the house, like we had to learn to do it ourselves. And I mean, I think that has made us better adults coming in as we're getting older because we're not dependent on other people, and we kind of know the shenanigans that comes with doing any project on your house or just dealing with everyday life stuff. So I think coming up in that struggle kind of helped us all out a little bit. I mean, I don't know if you agree with that, Mike and Lisa, but I mean,
yeah, I mean, a lot of the things that happened in my life, I mean, we were poor. I come from my mother was 16, my dad was 17 when they had me. So they didn't know how to raise a child. So, it was a struggle growing up. I was poor. I had epilepsy. I was picked on a lot. So I had a lot of struggles that I had to overcome throughout life. And again, like Michael, some of them were my own fault, but then some of them were just cast upon me for whatever reason to overcome and to help someone else hopefully overcome. And I used to teach college and I would tell my students, like, I've been through a lot. And if I can be where I'm at right now from the stuff that I've gone through, any one of you could be where I'm at right now from the stuff that you've gone through. So anybody is capable of doing and becoming. So I just want to help everyone see their potential, basically.
absolutely. I mean, not even like with the regular struggles. I mean, you were teaching college one, and then you got kicked by a horse or thrown off a horse
Oh,
where
that
you
was
had a
before
traumatic
I
brain
started
injury.
teaching college.
Okay, that was that before. I mean, still,
Yeah,
I mean,
I was a production manager at a flooring company in 2007, and it was right during the downturn of the economy. So I had to make a decision because the company that I worked for, amazing, Authentic Pine Floors. They were absolutely the most amazing family-owned company, which I try to pride myself being also. And they did everything they could to try to keep me employed, but I saw the writing on the wall. It's like they want to stay in business, they're going to have to operate everything on their own instead of keep staff. But I ended up leaving. They gave me a great severance pay, and then I had to decide what I was going to do. So I just decided to get into the medical field. I said, I'm tired with construction. It's the ebbs and flows, the ups and downs. I'm so tired of it. So I was going to get into the medical field. So I had enrolled in school. And right about the time that I enrolled in school, I'm out riding my horse, and it was a windy day. And she just decided, I put a new bit on her, a bridle on her, and she decided she did not want to cooperate with me. So she bucked me off, and I remember thinking, as I was getting on the saddle, I didn't even fully get on the saddle. The last thing I remember thinking, and I don't remember anything after that, was, ooh, this is going to be a fun ride. and she bucked me off, and she kicked me in the forehead, and the back of my head, I landed on a rock. And so I got down to like 2 breaths per minute. They had to life flight me to the trauma center. And if my husband were here, he would tell the story. Supposedly, I don't remember any of this, but I fought off 7 paramedics and firefighters.
No.
They had to sedate me. It's that typical trauma experience that you have with a head injury. But I everybody was scared. Everybody was at the hospital, I know, and thought that I was going to die. They wanted to cut my skull open and thought that I wasn't going to make it. And I came to, and it's by the grace of God. But I do remember the first thing when I woke up, I wanted to know where Paul was and why he was not by my side. and I wanted to be out of that hospital. And the neurologist told me that I needed to stop going to school, that I wouldn't be able to learn anything new because the damage was in my parietal lobe and my frontal lobe, and I had a parietal contusion. So it was right there in the area where learning takes place.
Well, I mean, and that makes sense why, I mean, they would say that. I mean, yeah, I had a concussion in football. I mean, nowhere near getting bucked off a horse and thrown and having a TBI, but I mean, I got a bad concussion in football.
Yeah.
And they even told me I wasn't allowed to go to school for a week. I couldn't even watch TV. Like, I needed, like, complete brain rest. So, I mean, if I was a doctor in that position, I'd probably tell you the same thing. Like, this is it for you. Sorry.
Well, they wanted me to go to another hospital because the trauma center is where it's like right in the middle of Atlanta. So it's where they come for trauma, and they're busy all the time because we don't have a whole lot of trauma centers in Georgia. So they wanted to send me to another hospital, and I was stubborn. I'm like, nope, I'm going to go home.
You stubborn?
I'm going to
No.
I'll rest and recuperate at home. And I just decided, you know what? I'm going to do this no matter what. Before my brain injury, I had a photographic memory. When I went to start studying my work, I was like, I couldn't even, I'd read a sentence and I couldn't even remember it.
Just completely blank.
It was just completely blank. So I had a test that I was supposed to take that Saturday, and I made Paul drive me up to the school, but I stayed up all night. And I cried. I don't cry much, but I did cry that night because I stayed up all night reading that chapter, and I remember nothing. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to go in there. I'm going to take the test. So he had to drive me up there, he had to carry me into the classroom. And I went in and I took the test, and I just went on instinct. I was like, okay, what's the answer to this? What's the answer to this? I made a 96 on the test. And
I mean, perseverance over everything. I mean, you wouldn't take no for an answer.
And believing in myself that I could do it. That's
I mean, I think that's probably the one fault, I mean, especially in this case, of that crazy headache was you weren't going to let anybody stop you and tell you, no, you can't do that. You were going to prove them wrong. So, I mean, I guess that's one lesson that, I mean, everybody can take from that is...
crutch of my personality. It's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes. My husband might say sometimes it's a bad thing. But yeah, I just fall. It took me a couple of years, and I still, you still have brain issues and haven't fully recovered. But I do remember one gentleman, Dr. Alman Neal. He was my biology professor. He used to be head of the anesthesiologist department at Walter Reed. And he was the one that told me, he was the one that inspired me. He's like, look, Lisa, he said, you were meant for something more when you came here. You're still meant for something more after the head injury. And he said, you will overcome this. And he just strongly encouraged me, and he talked about, the science of it, the new neural pathways that you can develop, but a lot of it, some of it science, but a lot of it was just I prayed a lot, and just God got me through it and surrounded me with the right people, and I just am where I am today because of it. And I just kept going and working towards my pharmacy degree and my master's, and I was working towards my bachelor's, my doctorate, and just anything that I could do to prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Anything that I could do.
And I mean, knowing you, when did you guys move down here?
We moved down here in 2021.
21, okay, so going on about 5 years I've known you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, initially Paul and Lisa moved into my neighborhood, just around the corner from me, and we kind of hit it off pretty quick right away from them moving in. I think it's more because my wife dragged Lisa into the HOA, and then...
We came to an HOA meeting, and I'm like, I'm not an HOA person.
But really, I mean, at that time, we just needed another body.
Yeah.
But we didn't expect it to develop into, I mean, where we're all out now. I mean, we're like family now. I mean, everybody's tight, close. I mean, she then dragged Paul into it because I run the architectural review.
Like, if I'm in it, he's in it too. If I have to suffer, he also has to suffer.
Exactly.
Isn't that how marriage works?
So Paul was kind of voluntold, like, hey, Christian needs another person for architectural review. Guess what you're doing now? I mean, it kind of went from there. I mean, and then look where we're all sitting now. I mean, from sitting in that office bedroom on Sangria Circle
Yeah.
to where we are at now, where at that time it was just gotcha covered roofing. We didn't even have a lettered vehicle.
Yeah.
I mean, we were, it was just your pickup truck and Paul's pickup truck, and I was actually a contractor for the county at the time.
Yeah.
I
We
wasn't
came
even
from
with you.
Georgia, so we didn't even have any vehicles in Georgia.
Yeah, exactly. So everything was still kind of ground level, fresh, and we're kind of chit chatting back and forth about me coming over with you guys because I did have a background with roofing. I mean, I grew up like I started roofing when I was 12 years old with a family friend from church who had a roofing company, and I was a little gopher on the ground picking up shingles and throwing up coil nails to people and kind of worked my way up. So we were dabbling, talking about me coming over with you guys, and then we finally decided, sure, let's go ahead. And it kind of, when one door shuts, another one opens. It like the second we decided that, 13 of us got laid off from the county,
Yeah.
and it kind
was
of all just
perfect
worked.
timing.
So I mean, and now we're sitting here and
It was another situation where Paul and I looked at each other as like, we don't know how we're going to pay him, but
figure it out.
we'll figure it out. And then came Michael
Yeah.
later on down the road with a similar situation when he walks in the door. And I just immediately knew that I wanted him to work for us. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to pay you, but I'm going to figure it out. God's just going to make a way.
I mean, it definitely. I mean,
And the checks have cleared, all right, guys? The checks have cleared.
We are still missing that one.
but I mean, show all the stuff you went through to, I mean, having the traumatic brain injury and just moving along to now we're sitting here and you got 3 businesses. 2 running the third one with the dumpster. And we're getting that off the ground. I mean, I think after we realized how much money that we were spending alone renting dumpsters kind of pushed us in that
hurts
direction.
me every time I pay for somebody else's dumpster. So I'm like, I want to be grateful. Oh, thank you for the dumpster. But then I'm like, oh my gosh, we could be putting that money to our dumpsters.
I mean, even when you just look at the cost of buying a brand new dumpster container,
Yeah.
you look $4,500.
Yeah.
$5,000. I mean, they pay themselves off quick.
Sure. It's the dump trailers are more expensive
Yeah.
because they're standalone and they have the wheels. But you buy the trailer and then you buy the dumpsters to go along with it. So the dumpsters you can buy unlimited amounts of those for like pretty cheap price. But
You just kind of go to work.
yeah.
So I think there's a recurring theme here, and it's nobody gets through life headache free.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
Sure.
we're not just talking about like the I didn't drink enough water kind of headaches. We mean the kinds that show up when all your plans fall apart, or when your relationship ends, or when the money's funny, when the dreams feel delayed, when you're smiling in public and unraveling in private. I mean, life has a funny way of humbling us all, that's for sure. And I mean, it doesn't matter how confident you look or how curated your feed is, like your social media feeds, how strong we pretend to be. We could repost as many motivational quotes on social media as we want, but we all have something. I mean, there might be a promotion someone didn't get. There might be a prayer that hasn't been answered, a friendship that has been quickly fading, and the wild parts is most of us think we're the only ones. So I'm very proud that you guys came up with this podcast to kind of go through and talk about things like this, because we could scroll, which actually might become harder because once we scroll we compare. We assume that everyone else has it figured out, or they have some type of cheat code on life. But the reality is that behind closed doors, they're fighting battles too.
Right.
There's different details, but the same pressure. Like the pressure's the same, no matter where you are, and that's why podcasts exist.
And don't think because you overcome a challenge I've overcome so many challenges. You think you got on the other side, guess what? Something else is going to come your way. And it's going to be unexpected. You'll go through life thinking that everything is as it should be, and sometimes I guess we get a little we need to humble ourselves, because sometimes we get a little used to things, and things kick us in the butt to make us realize, hey, we've got to forever be faithful and forever try to work on ourselves as life goes on. And our paths are going to go from one area of life to another area of life. It's not always going to be the same.
Well, what I realized is, like, going through everything, it's like, it's kind of like having a crew on a ship. Like one of those, you think those old sailboats back in the day with the pirates and everything like that. Don't think because the waters are calm, you can sit back and do nothing. You still have to attend to the sails. You got to do stuff on the ship. You got to keep doing your thing. You got to have somebody still steering and everything like that. You can't just sit back, because that's when stuff starts going haywire. If they were to do that on the ship and sit back and like, oh, waters are calm, we're good, and not think about anything, all of a sudden that current took them way off track, and now it's a fight, even harder fight to get you back on course. So that's something where you still have to keep on everything and make sure that you do what you need to do and just keep on keeping on, because you can't
when
just
you
sit
get
back.
complacent, that's when the next person's going to come in and sweep in and take everything that you've got, because they're going to see an opportunity because you feel comfortable in the season that you're in, and they're going to be like more driven and take over all that stuff that you are missing and not seeing out there. Also, lack of appreciation. Sometimes we get so used to things coming in, we forget to appreciate it.
For myself, that's true, Lisa. For myself, it was the pretending. Like I had to stop pretending. I had to stop putting on this persona. Like headaches didn't happen in my life, because people only see the outer. They don't see what's going on in the background. Like I got tired of acting like having faith means I never doubt, which is not true. We can be full of faith and doubt at simultaneous times. Like strength means that I never cry. Like success means I never struggled. That in itself, that's not real life. For anyone who's going to be listening, if they tuned in to a Crazy Headaches podcast, is because they know life is real messy. Life is very unpredictable. And it has beautiful moments, but it also has brutal moments. In the same week, in the same time, in the same hour, you can have a beautiful and brutal moment. 1 minute you're celebrating, the next minute you're asking, what just happened?
Yeah. We had a lot of that last year, not just personally, professionally. We had that, I think, all the way around. We had I think all of us that are here in the company have just had things happen to us that we weren't expecting, that, things were going great, and then all of a sudden things weren't going great. And it was just like in an instant where things can just turn around. People that you thought you could trust, you couldn't, and people that you thought had your back didn't, and then people you thought that were going to be around for longer.
Well, and also people's, how do I put it, lenses kind of cleared. Like for me, for example, I left in late 2024. I had left the company because, between personal stuff and it was a whole cluster. But it was an amicable separation. Yeah. We sat down, we talked, and
we all cried, even
we did. I did cry. Because it's a family. And it did hurt. So I was gonna go back into the world of recovery and trucking and stuff like that, and I went to do that, and I was gone for 8 months. I basically call it my furlough, because I was only gone for about 8 or 9 months, and I realized, I have to be back over there, because I was getting way too many signs of, you shouldn't be doing this anymore. You have to be somewhere else, and really, that somewhere else was always pushing me back to coming back to work with you guys, and that's what I did. called you up, and we all went out to dinner, and we talked, and it was like, you know what? Yeah, I think it's time where I legit said to Lisa, I'm like, can I come home? Like, I'm ready to come home. I'm done doing this stuff. Let's just get back to normal, our regular scheduled program, and that's what we did. And I mean, since then, like, we've gotten the new office. We're taking these steps and strides. I'm not saying it's not coming with difficulties, because I mean, there's the typical difficulties of an expanding business, where it's financial difficulties of, okay, not only do we have to operate the cruise now, but now we actually have that physical location that we have to make sure. So I mean, stuff gets stacked, but then when you think you've gotten that part worked out, that other crazy headache of this customer is upset about something. It's just, we have figured out that you cannot make everybody happy. No matter what you do, you're gonna get those people that are gonna try and find your weaknesses and come out. You can't, kind of like you were saying, Michael, you can put on this front of everything's okay and happy, but you're always gonna get those forces that see right through it, and they're gonna try and hit that weakness, but you gotta make sure that you just keep pushing through and show them that that's not a weakness I'm gonna let defeat me. And of course, now my other phone's going off. So, you know. This is the problem. I operate a podcast and a business at the same time, and I guarantee it's a spammer because I get nothing but spam on that. So they're blowing me up.
Well, I think the main thing is, I think a lot of us have been going through that, maybe in a different way, but very similar, because like Michael said, I've been struggling with, I have faith that we're going to get through all of this, but I still struggle with worry about things, you know, because there's some things that have transpired that I never expected to ever happen, and Lord knows I didn't do anything, you know, to cause it, or maybe did indirectly, but
Nothing nefarious.
right. So it's just struggling through those times, trying to get through and keep having, you know, we all have our own ways. For me, I just have been praying about it, and just listening to scripture and trying to figure out ways to get through it all. And then, you know, I always can rely on Christian to make me laugh about something.
It can be a little out of pocket sometimes, but, you know what I mean?
Christian is always good. And then Michael, if I ever need a scripture, I'll just call Michael. I'm like, hey, I need a scripture for this.
Because I'm definitely not the one to come to when it comes for spiritual guidance.
and Michael's sending me 6 scriptures telling me how to get through it. And you know, and then Tim, our sales manager, man, he is absolutely amazing. If I need anything, just to talk, like, he'll stay on the phone with me for 5 hours if I needed him to be on the phone with me for 5 hours, and then he'll apologize for keeping me on the phone for 5 hours when I'm the one that kept him on the phone for 5 hours. But he's absolutely amazing. He came about the same time that Michael did, and we are so grateful for the team that we have. We are so grateful Christian came back, and then my daughter works for me, which I never in a million years thought that would happen. I don't know how long it's going to be like this, but, you know, grateful for it while we have it now. And Tori, who has been the steadfast, she's been the one that has been here through thick and thin.
The things she puts up with, I mean, she definitely, like, she gets a gold star, because I tell you what,
I love that girl so much. We met her at the horse barn. She came in and had horses, and I never thought that she would come work for me, but we were just talking one day, and she goes, yeah, I don't want to work where I'm working right now. And I'm like, well, we need somebody to help Paul out to pull permits and do things like that. And so we brought her in, and she's been faithful.
She has been a tool and a half for the company. I mean, pulling permits alone, that right there is a job and a half, because, I mean, unfortunately down here, I mean, every county is different. and then every city within that county could be operating different. Like to figure out what you need to have these permits all set for these jobs to get done, and then to schedule these appointments for the inspections to get done. I mean, everywhere is different, and she figures it out every time.
Oh, she was the one that figured out when we were doing AccuLinks. Like, we weren't even using it the way that we should have. And she come in and she's like, she goes, oh, we need to be doing this, this, and this. Now, her father is a contractor, so she comes from a
That
background
background,
of contractors. And she also, she does horses. She's tough as can be. Skinny, teeny tiny little girl, but man, she's tough. And
She'll take you out. She don't take no crap.
she likes giving Kristen a hard time.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, and I think part of it is mine and Paul's goal is just to mess with her.
All the time. You guys do all the time.
My goal is I try to at least torture her once a day. I mean, if I can. I mean, there's times where I don't have that opportunity to do it, but I mean, when it's there, I'm sure as hell gonna grab it because that's just who I am. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna have fun with it, and that's kind of how I've always been with everything. That's how I cope with the stress and the BS. Is I'm gonna make a circus out of it sometimes. And then if you guys do hear any grunting in the background, we do have Asher, the little German Shepherd puppy, with us here today, so he might need to go outside or anything like that.
Asher's amazing.
He is a fluffy goofball that still needs a little bit of training in, and is driving Paul and Lisa absolutely insane.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So back to some of the headaches we face in life.
Where do we start?
We've been hearing on the flip side victories and how little battles are won, like people showing up to your business, but the business is in shambles. But hey, here's a couple people that might help with that, right? Mm-hmm. So in every war, there's small battles that are won, and a lot of people hide from talking about it. So I'm glad that here, instead of filtering it, instead of acting like we got it all together, we're going to talk about it, right? We're going to talk about the crazy things. We're going to talk about the setbacks.
Exactly.
We're going to talk about the plot twists and the silent battles that are being fought within the war, like the moments that make you question. We've been hearing that a lot, actually, and in some of the side conversations that Paul and myself have, or Lisa and myself have, the moments that make you question everything. So,
well, I think what we've picked up here, just even talking this little bit in this past half hour so far, is what has kind of helped us get through that headache is somebody else helping us. Mm-hmm. I mean, you're not going to win a war without an army. I don't know how anybody can think, I can do this on my own, I can do it by myself. Like, sometimes we have to swallow our pride and go, I do need a little help. We can't always do everything by ourselves, but if you have the right crew behind you, the right army behind you, you're going to be able to fight each battle and win each war a little bit easier. Not saying it's going to be a breeze, but it's going to be easier than if you tried to do it by yourself.
Exactly. And just a reminder for anyone listening is that headaches, they don't mean you're failing. They actually mean that you're living. They mean that you're stretching. They mean that you're growing. They mean that you're actually in the arena where the battle's being fought. Nobody escapes them. Not even the wealthy, not the confident people, not the faithful people, because I'm full of faith, and not the successful people. I've been around successful people who are struggling mentally, physically, and emotionally all day, every day. Everybody gets hit. The difference of the two isn't the headaches that we get. The difference is how we respond to them. So if you're listening right now and you're in the middle of one, you're not crazy. You're not weak. And you're not weak. You're human. And this is the space where we stop pretending otherwise. So, hey, welcome to Crazy Headaches.
Right.
I mean, and that's it. Like, everything here, like I said, this is kind of just the introduction, just so everybody can kind of get to know us and how we are. And I mean, we are not therapists by any means, but I mean, we've been through some of the life's ups and downs, and we've seen different situations, and we have figured out our ways to overcome it. And we do plan on bringing in professionals from different things to kind of help us with, hey, if you have this going on in your life, like in your professional opinion, how would you navigate that? I mean, for example, like I would like to get the sheriff in here and you know what, for those parents who have those new drivers, I got my 16-year-old son or daughter that just started driving, like I'm worried about this or that. Like, what's one headache we could try and mitigate? Okay, if that child ever gets pulled over, what should they do? Kind of let's let you guys know that this is what you can do to mitigate those headaches from ever happening. So, I mean, that's part of where we want to go with this, is because it's crazy out there, man. In 2026, I mean, between the economy, politics, I mean, you name it, and by no means whatsoever will we ever get into politics, because I think that right there causes one of the craziest headaches that anybody could ever think of. So, I mean, our goal here is let's help avoid that stuff. Let's avoid that to kind of make your life a little bit easier, because, I mean, I've dealt with crazy head. Like, for example, just recently, I lost my father. That's something that was a hard thing on not only just me, but my whole family. And that was something, first time I've lost a parent. I still got my mother. So I had to try and figure out what are the next steps after my father passed away. What do I do? I mean, obviously, I'm going to help my mother with help that she needs now, because she no longer has my father. But I didn't know how to set up a funeral.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to deal with, okay, where's his names on different accounts, stuff like this. I mean, obviously my mother knew that part, but I mean, it was something that gave me a realization, like, these are things that I know nobody ever wants to have to deal with, but it's something that you're going to have to deal with at some point in your life.
Yeah.
And I wish I had a place like this to come to go, oh, there's a situation going on. Like, hopefully they have an episode that have touched on it already, so that what are my next steps? What am I going to do?
Yeah.
I mean, it was, oh, where are we having the funeral? I don't know. Who do we call? I mean, like, unfortunately, like, the hospice that we were dealing with my father was not the best, and I'm not going to be tossing out the name or anything, because that's a whole thing that we're dealing with. But normally when you got somebody on hospice, so for anybody listening to anything like that, if you do have a family member going into hospice, like, certain things you gotta make sure when you're first meeting with them is kind of the game plan, because you do know if somebody's on hospice, eventually they are going to pass. That's the reason they're on hospice.
Yeah.
You need to talk with your hospice about, what do we do if they fall in the middle of the night? Is it something where I can pick them up, or do I have to call you to have you come in?
Right.
When this person does eventually pass away here at home, who are the first phone calls do I make? Because there are some people that don't know, even though they're on hospice, like, they would instantly, oh no, the person's passed away, I gotta call 911. Well, no, because you have hospice there now to handle that. So the first phone call you're going to make is obviously to your hospice nurse. And then from there, you sometimes hospice, normally what I've been told, because hospice didn't do this for us, normally you would notify hospice. They already had the plan together.
Mm-hmm.
And then they would make those phone calls to the medical examiner or the funeral home that you're doing that with, anything like that, so you can deal with grieving losing that loved one. But I mean, so essentially, it's you got to call hospice, and then if the hospice doesn't handle that stuff, your next step is, right after you hang up the phone from hospice, call the funeral home and say, okay, so and so has passed away. So, like, our case, like, most people will already have like a funeral plan set up or something like that, and then everything's set. Ours didn't. The doctors gave my father 8 weeks. It was a week and a half, and he was gone. So we had made an appointment with the funeral home to go and set everything up, but we hadn't gotten to that point yet.
Yeah.
So we had to call the funeral home, let them know so they could come and pick up his remains. and then we had to go to the funeral home, and you have to come up with all those plans. So there's so many steps, and I don't want anybody else to have to go, because I was already dealing with the stress and the grieving of losing my father. But at the same time, there's stuff that still has to get done.
Right.
I get to have your moment to grieve. I mean, you're gonna have your moment. I mean, to this day, it's still difficult for me. I mean, his birthday just passed on Friday, and that was difficult.
Yeah.
But I mean, I had to make sure that I had to figure this stuff out without knowing what to do while grieving. So make sure you have those plans. Even I'm going to tell people right now, even if they don't have anybody that in their family or friends that are sick right now, and you know it's coming, stop by a funeral home. Say, hey, God forbid any of this ever happens. So what do I need to do? They will walk you through all the steps. I mean, they'll give you packets, everything. Just so that if that time ever does come, you're not trying to scramble your brain trying to figure out and grieve at the same time. You can grieve, and everything kind of just flows.
It's just preparation.
Yeah, for sure.
Everything.
Yeah.
Preparation. But a lot of times we don't want to prepare for that. That's
No.
the one thing nobody wants to prepare for is.
No, I mean, how many phone calls did we have where, no, we're going to figure out a medication that's going to get my dad better and
I remember
everything.
that
I mean, the day I called you guys and said, hey, they're putting him on hospice.
I remember being in shock because I think I just wanted to, we were praying for him, but I think I just like, oh, it's going to turn around and everything's going to be fine. And then you told me he was in hospice, and I told Paul, and we were both like, oh, wow, this is bad.
I mean, because my father has had medical issues. I mean, since the time he was a kid. I mean, even since the day I was born, he's had 5 open heart surgeries. I mean,
Yeah.
so he was no stranger to the medical realm of not doing good. I mean, so like to us, it was part of that. Like, oh, this is just another hiccup Dad's gonna go through. But I mean, when it got to the point and they sat us all down and said,
Yeah.
he's really sick. There's nothing we can do. The infection has completely taken over. Like,
And then it went so fast.
so fast.
It was like, you told me he was in hospice, and I remember like days later, you're like, he passed. And I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah, because he went on hospice. Like I said, the doctors gave him, they said 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And then they put him on hospice, said 6 to 8 weeks. And then I let you guys know, and we're like, no, we're gonna figure out something. We're gonna do whatever we
What,
can.
was it like a week later?
And then, yeah, like a week, because a couple days later, we had the meeting here because you guys were leaving on the cruise. And while you guys were gone, me and Tori were going to be running the show. And we're like, all right, make sure everything runs smooth. Mostly Tori is going to be handling because I'm dealing with helping out with my father and stuff like that. And then you guys were on your cruise for, 2 days? And that's why I ended up sending you guys a message like,
Yeah.
look, sorry, I don't want to bother you on your cruise, but unfortunately my father has passed away.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it happened quick. So, I mean, you always want to make sure you're prepared and go through it. And that's why I told Paul and Lisa they're not allowed to go on cruises anymore. Because last time they went on a cruise was when my grandfather passed away.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So they went on their first cruise in 2023 or 2024.
It's all a coincidence. It's not related.
Yeah, in 2024. Yeah, you went on the cruise in because my grandfather passed away in May of 2024, and then on that cruise they went on, and then they went on this cruise. And then I was like, that's it. Anytime you guys go on a cruise now, I'm coming with you because I'm not chancing that anymore.
Well, first off, Christian, I empathize with you because I lost a father and he was on hospice.
Yep.
They handled it. It seems a lot better than how your experience went. And I'm sorry for that. But my father passed away a year and a few months ago now. And what I hear you saying is that you didn't get a notice, like a calendar invite from life.
Yeah, pretty much.
Life didn't say, "Hey, are you free Tuesday at 3 for a crisis?"
Yeah. I wish it was like that, man. Oh,
Because I would be rejected. No.
sorry, not available that day.
No warning,
And for
huh?
whatever reason, it always seems like it's not just one. It's like multiple crises that happens at the same time.
All at once.
I mean, did that happen with you, Michael, when your father passed away? It was like it didn't seem like one thing just piled on you. It was like multiple things.
For sure, for sure. And saying and in the same sense, they were like, you know, he's probably got a few weeks, and they, 2 days later, they're like, oh, he's got 24 hours. So it comes fast. 1 minute you're fine, the next minute your job is restructuring, or your dad is dying, or your relationship is complicated, or your bank account is doing an interpretative dance. Life just throws things at you, man. I mean, there's unexpected bills, there's unexpected betrayal, there's unexpected detours. Sometimes it's just throwing growth at you in disguise. You know, the growth disguised as loss isn't always a bad thing, but here's the crazy part. It always feels personal.
Oh,
yeah.
It never feels like growth.
Sure.
It always feels personal. Like the universe woke up and said, you know who needs a character development today?
Yeah.
Lisa.
You know who needs that kick in the pants? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was like there was a committee, in heaven that said, "Hey, we're gonna get Lisa with this, and this."
Yeah,
All of a sudden.
we got
well,
some
yeah,
growth.
like I said, it was kind of like there was a bunch of stuff that we were supposed to deal with throughout the year. Like God would give us certain problems to deal with to help build our character, but it almost seems like whoever was handling our issues was gone on vacation, came back and saw a file stacked on their
And
table,
then
and was like, "Oh,
decided
just
to
send
hand
it all at once."
out all at once. We're like, yeah, we were supposed to give her this problem like 6 months ago for let her deal with it, and then this problem like a year ago, but we forgot, so we're just gonna pile it all on at once.
Yeah, let's mail it all at once, and it's
Yeah.
almost like the second you see we got through it, the mailman shows back up and goes, "Oh, sorry, this envelope slipped between my seat. You got this going on now too." It's
I
like,
know
oh.
for real. Last year was like that, and I had one of those years in the past. It was in 2014. It was a really rough year for me. I was going through a career transition. Well, good thing I was going from a professor to a department chair, and heading an entire program, and so that should be exciting. But then all of a sudden, my fiance decided he didn't want to be with me. We can talk about this. Paul will allow this. We went through a rough stage, and then my stepmother passed away. A month later, my mother-in-law, who I was very close to, passed away. 2 months later, my father-in-law, who was married to her, he passed away on the January 2nd, and then on January 3rd, my birthday, one of the most special people to me in the world, my grandmother, passed away on my birthday. I felt so alone, and back then I felt like Paul wasn't there for me, and I just felt so alone, and I had to go towards God. I had to pray. I mean, I had no other
weighted
choice.
blanket just thrown over you, and
I mean, I would get down on my knees and I would be crying, and why is this happening to me? When, if I look back at it now, it wasn't happening to me per se, but it was happening for me to develop me. And, I feel like I learned, and I learned a lot in that specific period, and it made me grow into a totally different person. And it made me kind of appreciate the things that are around me, but then it also, it just made me a little bit wiser person. And then I also learned to develop my emotions too, to be more, aware of how I'm treating other people, be more aware of how I'm treating myself, where I'm at in my walk in life. But that doesn't mean that like this year hasn't been hard. It's like, I went through a lot that year, and this past year that has just been so hard.
it's just one thing after another. And I think, all these different things, like, it has definitely helped us figure out how we're going to change stuff in the future and how we're going to navigate stuff a little bit differently. So,
Made a lot of mistakes last year.
Yeah.
Administratively, trusting certain people. just accepting certain people as customers,
Yeah.
different things, learning that.
Learn when to say no.
Learning that some.
Oh, I see a reflection. I think your husband's walking in.
Oh, he might
Oh,
be.
there he is.
Oh.
Special
He's
guest,
fucking
special
mad
guest
about-
moment.
But just learning to just the mistakes that we made, just learning from those, and none of them were like intentional. Not of they weren't even. It was like, well, at the time we thought it was the best thing to do, and then picking, like, last year was our year of the crazy customers. We had some amazing customers,
Oh yeah.
but we had some really, really difficult customers.
The ones just as amazing were just as crazy.
Yeah.
On the opposite end.
And we're still dealing with some of those right now that we're working with. But I'm learning that not every customer is for you. Some customers you need to walk away from. And my husband is a good one at
Reading that.
reading those. And I have to say sometimes
Lisa's not good at listening to her.
like last year I had to say a couple of times, "You're right, dear. You were right, dear."
I remember one phone call. You were like, "Don't tell Paul I told you, but he was right," and I was like, "Oh!" I'm like, "There it is."
But then I always tell him.
Oh yeah, you end
I
up
tell
telling him
he's right,
anyways.
but I'll certainly tell him when he's wrong too.
No, no.
Right, dear?
Here.
Oh, he walked off
He
for some
walked
coffee.
away.
He was
See,
like, "I'm getting out of
he
here."
doesn't even want to be involved in this. But that's one thing that Paul and I talked about too, is that we wanted to do another podcast on how to help couples getting through certain things too, because we talked about what we've gone through and the things that we've done in our lives to each other and to ourselves and in our relationship. And we are in a much better place in our life now. And we want to help people as much as we can.
Yeah, well, and I think something like that. I mean, that's definitely like kind of the same idea with this. Something like that. I mean, I think it's good because not everybody. There's still that stigma of people. I don't want to go to a therapist. I don't want to they don't want to do
Men
that.
are mostly.
I don't know, but
It's a man thing. I'm sorry. This maybe not. Most men don't want to go to therapists. Females like to go talk it out.
Exactly, guys. I mean, we have. Kind of like Michael was saying earlier. Like, at face value, we will act like there's nothing going on, and we'll put on a happy face. But there's
Sure.
there's those people that are gonna see through. I mean, you and Paul called me out on it once. Like, I was having a difficult time, and I was like, "Oh, there's nothing wrong," and Paul was like, "Yeah, bull."
Yeah.
Like, clearly there's something going on here. So.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of why we're all here now, is because I think there's some people that might benefit better from hearing actual other humans going through the same thing than that therapist saying, "Well, what are you going to do about it next time?" I don't know. That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to give you those examples of what we did to not do that same thing next time, because we have been through it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know this podcast is gonna bring some memories, some good, some bad, to some people. So here's a one-on-one moment. You know how some podcasts have like these segments of Maria's weather or Tommy's sports. Here's maybe we need to start a segment here. Michael's one-on-ones. I'm gonna talk. If you're listening, I want you to lean in, sit up in your chair, or stretch out of your yawn right now, because I'm going to say something to everyone who's listening, who some of our stories has, brought up some memories or maybe some feelings from the past, or maybe some encouragement, I hope. But I'm gonna say something, like if I'm speaking to one of the listeners directly. And what I want to say is that the pressure you're feeling right now. That's not the proof that you're weak. The chaos that you're feeling, it is not confirmation that you have failed at anything. It's proof that you're alive. It's proof that you're stretching. It's proof that something in you is actually being built. Gold does not panic in fire. It's actually redefined there. And yes, sometimes You don't feel like gold. And sometimes you feel like a microwaved leftover.
I mean, and diamonds are made by pressure.
Uneven,
Michael said that the other day.
unhearted, yep. Questionable. But even in those seasons, you're not fighting for victory. You're actually fighting from victory. Let that sink in. You're not trying to earn your worth. You're not trying to prove you belong. You're not clawing your way toward your value or your goals. You already have it. The win isn't out there somewhere waiting for you to be perfect. The win is the fact that you're still here. You're still breathing. You're still trying. Still getting up every morning when it would have been easier just to stay laying in bed. Sometimes some of you listening are in the middle of it right now. You're tired, you're discouraged, you're questioning yourself, you're praying prayers that feel like they're empty, like they're hitting a ceiling and bouncing back. And I need you to hear this. Delay is not denial. Pressure is not punishment. Silence does not mean abandonment. Silence from God does not mean, I mean that specifically from God. Silence from God does not mean abandonment. Sometimes faith isn't shouting at you. Sometimes faith is whispering. And I don't understand this, but I trust you anyway. Sometimes we don't understand God, but you have to tell him, I trust you anyway. Staying strong doesn't mean you don't cry, though. It doesn't mean you don't doubt. It doesn't mean you don't feel the weight. It means you refuse to let the weight define you. It means you stand up even if your voice shakes and crackling and you're full of tears. Even if it means you trying again. Even if you tried again and last time you tried, you felt embarrassed. It means that you believe something bigger is happening, even when you can't see it. Because we don't fight for victory, we fight from it. The battle might be loud, but the outcome is already settled. So when life throws headaches, drink your water, take a breath, laugh when you can, cry when you need to, pray when you're overwhelmed, call your friends, like Lisa does, and rest without guilt. But don't quit. The same life that confused you is still capable of blessing you. The same season that stretched you is strengthening you, and the same pressure that scares you is shaping you. You're not behind, you're not forgotten, and you aren't finished. You're just becoming. One day you're going to look back and be like, man, this crazy headache thing, it helped me realize it helped me realize that the pressure wasn't breaking me, it was building me. Now straighten your crown, kings and queens. Wipe your face, fix your posture.
Okay, so I guess Michael's more of a therapist than I am. I mean, that was some heavy. I mean, it definitely something that needed to be said for sure. I mean, I think there are people that do need to hear that know, like, hey, you're not alone on this. Like, we're gonna be here with you and for you. And I mean, we want to interact with it for y'all. So, I mean, if you guys we set up an email. So if you guys have any of those crazy headaches in your life, and again, I'm saying we're not therapists, we're not board certified, nothing.
We're just talking about it.
Yeah, we're just talking. We're just humans that have been through it, and maybe our experiences can help you get through whatever the heck you're going through.
Everybody's going to have a different perspective on things based on their experiences in their life.
Yeah.
You know, and we're just here to help you get through it. And I know I've relied on other people. I'll ask questions if I'm going through a rough time. That's one thing that I learned a long time ago, back in 2014-15, is don't be afraid to talk to people and ask people, because a lot of people are going through the same things that you're going through, or they've gone through them, and there's something that helps them along the way.
Exactly. So if any of you guys have that crazy headache you're going through, and you just, hey, I need some advice. What the hell direction should I go to next? We do have an email that's set up, and that is crazyheadaches321@gmail.com. And just let us know, what are you going through? What crazy shenanigans is happening on that you don't know which path to take. You're at that fork in the road, and you don't know which way to go, right or left. We may not tell you, hey, go right or go left, but we'll at least give you some advice so you can come up with that decision on your own to hopefully pick that path and keep you moving on. So I think with that, I mean, I think people know a little bit about us now and kind of what we're here for. Lisa, is there any final thoughts that you have?
Well, I just am grateful again for everyone that's in my life right now and how they have helped me get through some of the really rough times that I never expected to happen in this last year. And just the one thing that I have to say is never give up, never quit. Surround yourself with people that are going to elevate you, and just keep moving forward.
Okay. Michael, you got any final thoughts?
No final thoughts. Just tune in next week. I pretty much said what I felt in the moment to say in that little one-on-one segment.
Michael the philosopher.
And your faith is there. It's just shining. It's waiting to be shined through. That's all.
100%. So I say with that, we raise a glass to kick life in the
I got my coffee.
butt. I'm not going to swear. You know how hard this has been for me to
We're working on you.
edit myself and not say mean, bad words. So but I did really good. So we're going to raise a glass to life. Let's kick it in the pants. And until next week, y'all, we love you.
Love you. Bye.